Hello everyone, welcome to Global Power Platform Bootcamp in Cambridge edition. My name is Marcin Siewnicki and I will talk about approvals in Microsoft Teams. This is a recorded session because I had some problems with presenters mode in Teams last Friday, so this is recorded, but I hope you don't mind. So let's start. Approvals in Microsoft Teams. Before we go further and talk about approvals details, a few words about me. My name is Marcin Siewnicki. I'm from Warsaw, Poland. I work in ISCG company. I'm Microsoft 365 consultant and solution architect. I'm also one of SharePoint Saturday Warsaw organizer. And my main areas, my main focus, I put main focus into Office 365, Teams, SharePoint Online, and stuff around modern workplace, and a lot of automation. I'm a big fan of automation, work automation, and other process automation and other automation stuff. So today I would like to talk about approvals options in Teams, what you can use, how you can use, which option is better, which option has some pros and cons, and a few words about limitations, because every option has some limitations and specific they are specifically designed, so you should know which option is best in a certain situation. Session agenda, a very quick introduction to approvals. Then I will talk a little about approvals engine, so what you can use to build approvals. Then a brand new approvals application in Teams. And last one, some advanced scenarios, two solutions that you can use to build and work with approvals in Teams, but with more options than that in approval apps. So approvals. Well, it's critical part of most workflows. If you think about business process workflow, back office workflows, the approval is, I think that it's in every single process. In some of them, it's more formal process, more formal approval. In others, it's just checkbox with yes, no, but it's still some kind of approval. I think the most common process of document approval system, document management process, there are a lot of approvals inside, so please approve my document. You can send document or invoice, offer, whatever to your management, to your business. You need to approve for some kind of approval. Management acceptance processes, official signature from management. So if we need official approval with full name, date, etc., approvals is, well, best option for that. And of course, a lot of back office processes like help desk, ticketing systems, or holiday process. It's always there is always some kind of approval inside that process. In Microsoft 365, the natural option to use to work with approvals is, of course, Power Automate. In Power Automate, we have a lot of actions to create approvals and work with approvals. There are a lot of templates for ready to use, so you can go if use that template and quickly start building your own approval. And those approvals work with emails and send it. So approval sent email to user and ask for approval, so we can work, interact with approvals, do some action, make some actions directly from emails. Or the second option is there's dedicated Power Automate page when you can go and check your current approvals that are assigned to you and do some actions. So we have two options: email or Power Automate approval site. Okay, let's check how it works. So if we go to portal.office.com, we can go to Power Automate. I've just opened that page before, and this is sample of approval process created in Flow. This is create an approval. You can create an approval. We can use create an approval action or create an approval and start approval and wait for response. There are a lot of options, but it works. It looks very similar. So we can choose approval type if it's if we want to wait only for first person to respond or everyone must approve. There's of course title, some details, so item link, item description, so we can click that link in email and go to details. And there's of course assigned to field, and in this field we must enter some person that should approve that item, that request. We can assign one person or multiple people put here, so we can decide how it works. And if we create that kind of approval and we create a new document or new element, new item, and trigger that approval, end user will get this kind of message, email message with details and two buttons: approve and reject, and we can add some comments and click submit directly from Outlook. But this is only list. You can get only specific approval in one email, one approval. But if you want to go and check all approvals in one place, you can go back to Power Automate page and action items, and there's approvals section. And in this section, you can find all your received or sent approvals inside your Office 365. So it's full list of approvals received by me or sent by me. Okay, I can check who sent it to me, when, title. If I go to this one, maybe, and if I click on that specific approval, side panel will open, and there's small window with details, and I can check. I select action approve or reject, or there's also one action reassign, so I can assign that approval to someone else. And I can also add some comment and confirm it from this page. But it's different page. I must go to Power Automate, and for Power Automate site, and for end users it's not so easy because they must switch from Outlook, from intranet to this kind of site, this kind of service, which is quite different than normal tools, because there's a lot of specific sections designed directly to flow, to design flows, to work with flows, but not for end user to work with approvals. Yeah, so this action again. There's also a dedicated page with templates for approval, but when we want to create that approval, we can use this, and message in email or in approval in portal. Okay, let's go to Approvals app. This brand new application in Teams. It has been released about 5 weeks ago, so it's brand new. And using this app, this is a dedicated application for approvals, so it's personal application. This is central place for all approvals. It works similar way to the approvals portal. but we can also start approval from that application, or even start approvals from Teams channel chats or personal chats. And we can work directly from a chat. So if we get approval, we can accept it or reject from this approval app, or if it's sent to chat, directly from chat. So this is something totally different than email approvals or portal approvals. Okay, too far. And we will be able to capture electronic signatures. This feature is should be available in upcoming months. We will be able to capture signatures using Adobe Sign or DocuSign or probably others vendors. So let's switch to switch to Teams and check how it works. Okay, so I can close those windows. Go to Teams. So first, if we go to apps and search approvals, you can find this application, click on it and install. I installed it before, so this application is available in my left-hand menu because it's personal application. If I click it, it's pinned, but I hide this one. This one also. Okay, so as you can see, it's very similar to approval portal in Power Automate site. We have a full list with all of our approvals from entire tenant, entire Office 365. The left section, we have two options: received and sent. So received, all approvals that I received. So someone create approval and assign me to this task, and sent, so approvals that I created and assigned to someone else. So I can go scroll it down up. There are icons with some visuals, so it's quite easy to understand and to find specific approval. And if I click on this one because it's still in requested stage, I get the window, the pop-up window inside Teams, and I can check details, and I get information who sent that approval to me and when, and I have two actions: approve and reject. Of course, there's place for my comments, because I'm also a requester for this, because it's my demo, so I assigned approvals for myself. I can also cancel this specific request, but end user, he will be able only to approve or reject. And if I click approve, it's done. There's also a notification in Teams, and as you can see, it's approved. All notifications from approvals they send to activity section in Teams, so we can go there and check all current or received or approved, rejected approvals. Let's go back here. But we can also create approval directly from this application. If I click new approval request, I must provide some title. Let's say doc approval, document approval. I must provide at least one approver. It would be me again. If if there are more than one people in this field, so I can then select option if I required response from all approvers or only from one. But in this case, in this test, I will use only one. I can type some maybe offer approvals. So I can put some details here. I can also add an attachment. This is my inbox, and inside my inbox, documents. And some PDF, and maybe this one. So I can attach and send a specific document inside approval. There's also option for custom responses, because by default, end user will get two options: approve and reject. I can specify custom responses, only two custom responses. Let's say yes or no, or maybe okay and no, not okay. So it's up to me, but only two responses: one for approve and one for reject. So let's say to stick to yes and no, and we can then click send. And done. We've just created a new approval in Approvals app. Okay, and as you can see, there's an indicator that in activity section, so we got a new message in Teams. And because I assigned myself to this test approval, I get also a notification about that approval, and I can go and approve, reject, click yes, no, add some comment, etc. But there's also a document in this approval. I can click on it, it will open my browser. But if we go and check where is it stored, because it's quite important, as you can see, it's stored in, I'll click on it maybe. Yes, please load. And this is some test PDF file. I close it, but will stay in the location where that file was saved. And boom, as you can see, this one, document 9, it is stored in my OneDrive. So every single file attached to approvals in Teams will be saved in approvals document folder in requestor OneDrive. And what's also important, in column sharing, there's a status that it's shared. But shared, we click on that, we can check that this file is shared to people in entire organization, entire tenant, and everyone can edit, but only with link. So if we send this link to someone else, by default, we can go, open and edit that file. So we share every single file attached to approval in Teams is by default shared to everyone using link. Okay, so keeping in mind that it's shared to everyone in link, so it's easy to send someone else that link to that document. Okay, but let's create one more. This is request approval, because I would like to show you something else. I can assign every single person from my company, that's from my organization, that's okay. But I can also type email of a guest user. I invited my business account to these teams, to one of my team inside my test teams. so I can assign that person. Okay, I won't attach anything, and I click send. So in this time, I created approval and assigned it to a guest user. And yeah, I click, yeah, I go back to approvals maybe, and it's no error. It's created. It was, yep, document approval. No, it's sent because it's not for me. Yeah, guest approval assigned to guest user. But if I go to that specific guest account, this is Teams of my business account. I just logged into the account and switched to this test tenant. So I'm a guest user. I'm a guest. Yes, I'm a guest. If I go to activity window, activity section, you can check that I've just got an approval, and I got that specific approval, but well, something went wrong. Wait a bit, then try again. But I can try and try and try, and no, it won't work because approvals created from Teams don't work for guests. It's not feature for guest users, but end user can create approval from Teams. There's no error, no issue, no information that it's not possible or not allowed. It's created and sent because I as a guest, I get information that it's assigned to me, but I get this correlation ID message with GUID, so it's not so good. It's not designed for guests, but there's no information that sending to guests is not allowed. So for end user from our organization, they can do that. They won't get any message, any error. And guests, they also get information that there's a new approval waiting for them. There's even email message sent to that guest user, but guest user can't do anything. I can click, if I close that window, I get approvals application window, but without any information and also with error message. So it's a good idea to send information to your users, to your Teams user, that this function, this feature works that way. So don't create approvals and assign them for guest users. Okay, now let's quickly go to Teams. If I go to Teams, to one of my team, to a channel, and click Start Conversation, there is this small blue icon. If I click that, I can create approval directly from a chat, and it works the same. Chat approval. I can assign myself again. Yeah, true. Not okay. Yes, no, and yeah, sent. But this time, this approval appeared also on. There is some. Yeah, appeared also on Teams on channels chat, so everyone can see that approval. Because I'm assigned to this approval, I can click approve or reject directly from chat. And that's it, done, approved. I can do the same action. Where's my John test account? I can do the same action from personal chat. So if I talk with my manager, I can click create approval, type, enter title, provide title, description, maybe document, and send, and that specific user get this the same notification inside chat, so he can go click and use chat window to approve or reject document. But if we go to a private channel, and well, there's no such option because approvals don't work with private channels. So it's not a feature for private channels. You can't create approval from a private channel, but I think it's not a big deal because we can do this from standard channel or directly from approvals app. And if we create a chat approval, I mean approval from chat, it will also be visible in this approval application. So still one application, one place to see all approvals across entire Office 365. Okay, let's go back to quick summary. So in approval apps in Teams, you can get all approvals from entire environment, entire organization. This is one stage approval, so I can create approval, send it to one or multiple people, but if it's accepted, it's over, it's end, no further steps. So only one stage approval. Files are shared to entire organization using link. So if you send it to someone else outside approval process, that person will be able to open that file and even edit it. It's not for guest users. Unfortunately, you can create approval and assign a guest user. That guest user will receive some information, email message with details, and click in Teams in that approval, but he will get error message without any real or human description. So it's a good idea to inform your Teams user that it's not for guest user. And private channels are not supported. Okay, so but what if we want? If we need more control, if we want more control over those approvals, we want to send something more information in our messages to Teams. Maybe we need to create something bigger, more customized. Well, we have two options. First option is to create approval with adaptive card. Approval using to do that. We can use approval action in flow, so the same as it shares the same engine. And approval request using adaptive card can be sent to a chat or a channel, so the same way as approvals in Teams. But this time we can customize this message a little using adaptive cards. And because it's approval action, we can modify that action inside flow. So we can assign it to entire team. So not only assigned person from approval, but we can assign every single team member automatically. So it's a little bit more advanced. So switch to Teams. I created that approval. If I go here and create a quick travel request to travel to New York City conference, destination not really important, airlines. Oh, the same almost. Oh. And save. Okay. It will trigger Power Automates flow in a minute. In the meantime, I go to Power Automate and show you how it's built. It's built that way, not that way, because it's adaptive card. That's not the flow I was looking for. Yeah, this one, message to teams. Okay, so when a new item is created in SharePoint list, I get all members of my teams group, because I want to send a message with approval to my entire team. Then I build string with all of my members, and then create approval using approval action in Teams. I put all details here, members of my team, and then I use post your own adaptive card as the flow bot to a channel. There's also an action that do the same, but send it to a user. And inside that action, I choose a team channel and get that message from this approval. And I create some headline, and that's it. Okay, let's go back to Teams. Yeah, it was triggered just before. I got a notification from Approvals app, so it's also visible in Approvals app, so that's great. Yes, travel to New York. If I go to Approvals application, it should be visible here. Yes, it is visible. It is visible in received section. Yes, requested, waiting, and but this time it's sent to not one user, but to 3 users, to all members of my of that specific team. And if I go to a team, if I go to that specific team, to this one, and to general channel, yeah, flow sent adaptive card to a channel, so we can use it send to a standard channel inside any specific team. There's details, so classic message that you can get inside email, so it looks the same as message sent by email, so the same message, because it's by default a message sent by approval action in Power Automate, but it's sent to a channel, and every single member of that channel can go and click approve or reject. But because I assigned it to specific, not specific, to all members of that team, so every single user can do that inside team. But if I invite a new user, that user won't be able to approve or reject that item. So that's the difference between approvals, standard approvals, and this more advanced scenario when you can assign it by automatically to everyone in team. But again, it's limited only to members when that specific approval was triggered and started by someone. And second option, very similar, is send adaptive card and wait for response. This time there's no approval action in this scenario, but this time this process will be available to every member of a team, current, existing users, and if we invite someone new, that new person also can read information about that message and accept or reject or do any other action in that with that item. There are more configuration options, and in this time we must create our adaptive card from scratch. There is dedicated adaptive cards designer, There are a lot of templates. If you go to that page, you can find the templates, guides, how to build that adaptive cart and use it inside many different services, but for we use it in Teams. So let's go back to Teams. I quickly create one more request, the same travel request, but different list. By this time, trip to Florida, maybe. As a requester, some dates. Okay, and save. It will trigger in a minute, but in the meantime, I will show you how it's built from Flow's perspective. And this is this one. Too many flows with tests. No, not this one. This one. I hope. Yes. As you can see, there's different action: post an adaptive card to a Teams channel and wait for a response. So it's not approval action. It's fully customized but totally custom action. So we build adaptive cards, send it to a team, to a specific channel inside Teams, or we can do the same and send it to a specific user in his chat, in his personal chat. But this time there is a lot of there's more information. This is JSON notation, so we can create a fully customized message and with customized actions. So not only approve, reject, yes, no, but as you can see there's more. We can create even field when the user must provide some date, some text, information, etc. Okay, let's go back to and that's it. This time this flow sent me this kind of message. So as you can see, it's different, totally different comparing to this one. So in classic approval, we get flow logo with Power Automate information and some details, poorly formatted, and link to a flow portal. But this time we get fully customized information with custom image, custom logo, formatted information, bold text, some table, and two custom actions, reject and accept, two buttons with icons. I can create more actions, more buttons, add some additional fields, etc. So it's more advanced. We have full control over this. But what is important? This time, this approval is not visible from approvals application because we didn't use approval action in flow. We create something else, so it won't be visible here. So if you create this kind of process using custom adaptive cards and send it to a Teams channel or personal chat, users won't get anything in the approvals application in Teams. So it's very important to know that two different scenarios. Okay, and again, approvals in Teams, we can send an adaptive card from approvals in Flow to a Teams channel or personal channel, or we can create a fully customized adaptive card and send it again to a Teams channel or Teams personal chat. Okay, So a few key takeaways at the end of my session. So for approvals in Teams, it's brand new application, dedicated personal application Teams. Yeah, 1 month ago. It was released one month ago. It's not for guest users, so you can create approval for guests, but it won't work. If you want something more, send more advanced, more customized messages, you can create adaptive card and from flow approval and with flow approvals and send it to Teams channels or Teams messages, personal chats. It will be visible from that Teams application. You must assign permissions to, you can assign it to entire team if required, or specific team members. You can also build a custom adaptive card and send it to a team channel or personal chat, but this time it won't use approvals action in flow. So it's something different and won't be visible. This time it won't be visible in approvals application. And private channels are not supported for this for any kind of approval. In fact, you can't send approvals. You can't create approvals in Teams from private channel, but also you can't create. You can't send adaptive cards to private channels in Teams. So it's not possible because of that's by design. So it doesn't matter if we start from Teams interface or try to send adaptive card using Power Automate. Okay, that's all from my side. Thank you very much for watching my session. I hope that you get something interesting. So have a good day, have a good evening, stay safe, and use Teams. Bye.